Horror pics show wrecked Russian army as Ukraine claims Putin has lost 9,000 troops with 45 coffins sent back to one town. Russia is facing staggering losses in Ukraine, with Kyiv claiming 9,000 of Vladimir Putin's soldiers have been killed already in the invasion. Shocking photos are continuing to emerge of the sheer devastation being meted out on the Russian forces, with the charred wrecks of tanks, trucks and armored vehicles littering roadsides. Russian trucks were blown up on a street in Volodymyr near Kyiv. Reuters. Pictures show a Russian tank which was blitzed along with a bridge in Kyiv near Kherson. Twitter. A Russian tank burns at the roadside amid the invasion. SWNS. Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky praised his own people's heroic resistance, as he bragged they had broken Russia's plan for a quick win. He said that around 9,000 Russian soldiers had been killed since the invasion began 8 days ago. The president urged the confused children to go home, with videos showing very young captured Russian soldiers blubbering for their mums. However, announcing its own death toll for the first time, Moscow said it had lost 498 troops and around 1,600 have been wounded. It is hinted however the true toll is likely somewhere in the middle of those two figures, and photos show stunning levels of devastation. Dramatic pictures show one convoy of Russian trucks which had been totally blown apart in Borodianka, around 40 miles of Kyiv. At least 10 trucks are seen in the photos along with a number of armored vehicles. The machines can be seen marked with the distinctive V symbol of the Russians. It is believed to represent invading forces which entered Ukraine's northeast from Russia. And another picture shows a Russian tank that appears to have been crossing a bridge as it was blown up in Kyiv near Kherson. Ukrainian forces have been destroying bridges across the country in an effort to slow the Russian advance. Civilians have also been taking up arms, hurling Molotov cocktails at passing Russian vehicles. And one harrowing leaked WhatsApp voice message has offered some hints to the growing despair of the demoralized Russians. The message was published by the Kyiv Independent and has a weeping woman speaking of the fate of one Russian tank brigade. She laments the unit was totally destroyed in Ukraine, with just 18 out of 150 guys managing to survive. The woman cries that 45 coffins had already been sent out to Russia's Altai region and laments her neighbors and friends, mostly young men, are among the dead. She particularly mentions a military service member named Evgeny Vilin. This name can be found in the leaked register of 120,000 Russian soldiers allegedly involved in the invasion of Ukraine. Russia has found its invasion blighted with logistical problems, with reports of tanks running out of fuel and soldiers running low on supplies. And elsewhere, Putin is reported to have lost one of his top generals, Major General Andrei Sukhovetsky. The commander, a highly respected paratrooper, was reportedly killed by a sniper during a mission on Gostomel near Ukraine. Photos show a totally charred Russian armor column which was destroyed in Bucha. Reuters. Russian rocket launchers sit abandoned by the roadside. Reuters. Molotov cocktails being hurled by Ukrainian volunteers. Reuters. Major General Andrei Sukhovetsky was killed by a sniper near Kyiv. Putin is believed to have thought he could roll over Ukraine within just 48 hours, and his forces thought they would be met as heroes. But instead, they have found themselves bogged down against a staunch resistance. Putin is also becoming increasingly isolated in the world as Russia feels the crushing weight of Western sanctions. Moscow however is believed to be growing frustrated, and it is feared Putin could resort to ever more brutal tactics as the war drags on. Horror pictures today have also shown the devastation which has been rained down across Ukraine from Russian airstrikes, artillery shells and missiles. More than 2,000 civilians are believed to have been killed in the attack which has seen once bustling cities become war zones. It came as President Volodymyr Zelensky stood defiant as he vowed Vladimir Putin would pay the price for every dead Ukrainian. Zelensky, a former comedian turned politician, who has been hailed as a hero for his leadership during the crisis, pledged to strike back against Russia. "We will rebuild every single house, every single street, every single city," he said. "And we are telling Russia, learn the words reparations and contributions. You will pay back fully to us for what you've done against our state, against our every single Ukrainian." And the conflict shows no signs of stopping, despite ongoing peace talks. Kyiv is believed to remain the prime objective for the Russians, with a massive convoy of armored vehicles lurking nearby preparing for a protracted siege. But a senior U.S. defense official said the immense column of tanks and other vehicles appeared to be stalled roughly 16 miles from Kyiv. The 40-mile-long army appeared poised to launch an assault on the capital earlier in the week. And now the column has made no real progress for almost 72 hours. Elsewhere, Moscow's troops managed to capture the key port city of Kherson after 6 days of fighting as their advance grinds across Ukraine. And meanwhile, at least 300 civilians and soldiers have been killed on the Ukrainian side in Kherson. The city near Crimea is home to 300,000 people, and opens up the pathway for the Russians to move towards Odessa.